going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Yesterday was the start of the 2019 Dragon Ball Super Nationals, and of course, as is their tradition, they did another reveal video showcasing a few cards that we haven't seen yet. The 4 cards that they revealed initially were the 4 draft pack promos that we have yet to see for Set 8. We have to see the images of them. I believe we covered that in a previous video, but they had no effects on them. So now we have all the effects, we have all their stats, and we also have one other card that was revealed that will be coming out in 2020. The first card revealed is Beerus, Path of Destruction. He's a 3-cost red-yellow with 20,000 power. His permanent says this card can attack battle cards in active mode, and if there's a red-yellow multicolored card in your energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So you can play him for 1 yellow and 1 red. That's pretty powerful, especially for a card that can attack active battle that early. His activate main says once per turn for 1 red and 1 yellow, switch this card to active mode. So basically you can have him attacking twice, but honestly, you could do that, or you could just play a second one, and then you could have 2 that could attack active battle cards. It doesn't really seem like it makes much of a difference either way, but I guess this would be an alternative way if you didn't have that second Beerus to play, or if you just didn't have anything else you wanted to play for 2 energy. It's not a bad card. Pretty good, in my opinion. It'll go good with the new Beerus support, but honestly, this card will just go good in any red-yellow deck. The second card revealed is an extra card called Infinite Energy. It's a 3-cost blue-green card. It says draw 1 card, choose one of your multicolored battle cards, and place it in its owner's energy in rest mode. You can't play battle cards with power between 30,000 and 35,000 for the duration of the game. And at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to one of your multicolored energy and switch it to active mode. So for 3 energy, this card is going to draw you a card to replace this card. It's going to let you take one of your multicolored cards and put it in your energy, so you're kind of ramping yourself up. And then on your next turn, you get to switch a card to active mode. So you're going to have energy to counter with, which is really cool, or to combo with, whichever you really need. And it's going to kind of help you ramp up and replace your energy from like the Android 21 leaders that are going to take your cards and put them from your energy into your drop. So it's kind of there to balance itself out, but if you don't use those abilities, then it's going to kind of help you ramp up to be able to play some of those higher cost cards. I just love the card because it's Android 16 and the art is fucking dope. And I'm going to use it with the Android 18 and Android 16 deck that I'm trying to build. I wish that we could get more legitimate Android 16 cards. I would love it if we could get like a green Android 16 leader or something of the sort. Maybe get like an Android 16 boss card, because we still don't have any good Android finishers. Like, we've got the new Android 21, but we've got Cell, he's got his own finishers, but 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, they're all just lower cost, weaker cards, and I feel like they deserve their time to shine. Like, there's so much showcasing for 16 in this set, and nothing really to come out of it for 16 himself. Then we've got a promo Hatchiyak, Hatred Everlasting. He's a 5-cost, 25,000. His auto says, once per turn, when this card attacks a battle card, switch this card to active mode. So whether that attack is successful, whether he KOs the card or not, he's going to switch back to active mode. So that's pretty cool. Gives him some protection, or gives you a chance to kill 2 cards instead of 1. His activate main says, if your leader card is black and you place this card from your hand in your drop area, place the top 2 cards of your deck in your drop area. So it would basically give you 3 cards right there to mill with. That's kind of cool. Not to mill with, to overwhelm with. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. It also would allow you to, have 3 cards to be able to free play your Ghost Warrior dudes. It's kind of cool. Activate main says for 3 energy, choose 3 black battle cards in your drop area with the energy cost between 3 and 7. Place them at the bottom of your deck in any order. Play this card from your drop area. So he lets you put cards back in the deck. You can play him for free, which is really cool. That's ideally how you're going to want to get this card out. And you can also play him, play his other activate main to put him and 2 other cards in the drop to play some of the other Ghost Warriors. So it's really cool how you could choose one or the other. I think this is a decent card for the engine. Although most of the cards don't really seem like great finishers. Besides the 1 8-drop, or the 1 5-drop that becomes an 8-drop. The rest of these are all just kind of eh. But the fact that he can attack 2 cards in 1 turn is not bad, especially 25,000 power. It only costs 3 energy to play him, so that's pretty good in my personal opinion. I don't really know how much I like the Hachiyak engine overall enough to want to play it, but I feel like it's going to be an interesting gimmick enough that it'll see some play, at least initially. I think every deck really does. Then we have the 7-star Dragon Ball. It's a 0 cost. Activate battle. If your leader card is a Shenron card, choose one of the abilities. If your leader card has 10,000 power and you have 5 or less life, your leader card gets plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So basically, it's a Sensu Bean. Or choose your leader card or one of your battle cards gets plus 5,000 power for the duration of the battle. That's a pretty nifty card. I like that. It's basically it's a free Sensu Bean. It doesn't give you the draw power, but if you're not looking to awaken, because it just says if your leader card's a Shenron. I mean, though, ideally what you would do with this one is you'd still want to get it in your drop, and then play cards that add the Dragon Balls back to your drop so you can get them. Because you're going to want them in your drop area as fast as possible so that you can, wish to the backside of the leader. But then at that point, like, you could play the Dragon Radar, get 2 of these back. You've got 2, essentially, free Sensu Beans that you can use to protect yourself. I think it's a pretty cool card. I don't think it'll see as much play as, obviously, the original Dragon Ball card we got, just because that draw it's easy. You want to use it as soon as you get it. But I can definitely see the 7-star ball being fit into decks, at least maybe as a 2 of, maybe more, if the player isn't particularly insistent on getting that awaken as soon as possible, or if you're playing, like I said, if you're playing stuff like Dragon Radar or whatever, to get your Dragon Balls back from your drop area, and then you'll have them to be able to defend yourself against your opponent. 5 or less life, that's not hard to get either, especially if you have a Dragon Ball or 2 in your life. So when you go to search your deck, your life for Dragon Balls, you can get yourself down pretty easily that way. Overall, I think it's a great card. I do like that they're still supporting like Wish decks and stuff with cards like this, though I wish we could get some support for some other types of decks too. Come on, Bandai, hear us out. Then lastly, the final card to be revealed is a Super Saiyan Son Goku leader. And if you'll notice, this leader is red and yellow, which, personally, I don't know if I want to say it's too early for them to bring dual-colored leaders into the game. I think that because of the way the game works, dual-colored leaders just, to me, seemed like a bad idea. I don't think it's something we need to be jumping into this soon. Just because there's so many cards that require you to have a specific colored leader, and if they start going that particular way, I'm just afraid that too many cards will be too easily abused. But this card does have some pretty unique abilities. First of all, if you'll notice, it's not an Awaken leader, it's an Awaken Surge leader. So it's a new Awaken mechanic. The auto says, when this card attacks, draw 2 cards, then choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your drop area. Now, this Awakened Surge says, choose 1 red card and 1 yellow card in your hand and place them under this card. You may draw 3 cards, then choose up to 1 of your energy, switch it to active mode, and flip this card over. So, initially, you're like, wow, okay, so it's a draw 1, switch 1. Like, that's not a big deal. But, the leader, and I'm sure other cards that'll come out around the same time, are going to take advantage of those cards being placed under the leader. Now, the one thing that I'm curious about is, says choose a red card and choose a yellow card. Can we choose a red-yellow card to cover both of those costs, or would the red-yellow card just count as either the red or the yellow card? That I'm not so sure about. One other thing I want to point out, though, before we take a look at the Awakened side, is if you see at the bottom where it shows the set, it's actually an expansion leader. So, it's not a draft box, so it's going to be an expansion similar to maybe like the Magnificent Collection, or maybe like the OG Heroes and Villains expansions. I'm not really quite sure, because Bandai kind of does some off-the-wall stuff every time they do something new. But it is going to be some type of expansion, or it even could be like the anniversary boxes or the ultimate box. But either way, it's not going to be in a mainstream set, so this will probably come out. This might come out before Set 9. I'm not really quite sure. They haven't really alluded to a whole lot in Set 9, but I am definitely looking forward to this leader. Because after all this time, we're finally getting a new Super Saiyan God leader, and the art on this just looks sick. It's Super Saiyan God Son Goku, Surge of Divinity. His activate main slash battle. Main slash battle. This is the first card we've seen that you can have an activate main that can trigger during either of those, we'll call them phases. Once per turn, if your life is at 5 or less, and you choose one card under this card and place it in its owner's drop area, choose one. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and negate their skills for the duration of the turn. Or this card gets plus 10,000 power and critical for the duration of the turn. That's crazy. And what's really nice is it's activate battle. Activate main slash activate battle. So, I don't even see... the activate main is almost irrelevant. You're going to use it, like... More often than not, you're going to use the activate battle. Because the activate main, the only real reason to use that is if your opponent had, like, blocker or something like that that you wanted to negate before... or like the Deadly Defenders, before you were going to declare your attack. Otherwise, you're going to want to do this stuff during Activate Battle. That way they can't, like, if you go, this card gets plus 10,000 power and critical, and then you attack, they're like, oh, well, we're going to negate it. But if you don't, you can do it during battle, gain the 10,000 power and the critical, and they've already passed the ability to play a counterattack. Same thing with the other ability. More often than not, you're going to want to use that during your opponent's turn, when they're attacking you with their shit, and you're just like, oh, attack with this triple attack, dude, and you're just like, nah, I'm gonna get rid of it. And then they're just left with their one little measly damage. It's easily one of the coolest leaders. I still don't particularly like the fact that he's a dual-colored leader, but the art is on par. The ability is stupid good. I think I'll at least be running 4 of the Double Strike Supreme Kais with this, because 35,000 Double Strike crit is a lot that your opponent's going to have to get through for one energy. Like, you can... This leader just murders your opponent on its own. Like, having stuff in the deck is all just support so the leader can just punch you in the fucking mouth. And with him being red and a Saiyan, red and Saiyans have some of the best supporting extra cards. Whether it's counter cards or activate battle cards, or it's just, red is such a powerful color, and him being a red Saiyan just makes it so much more powerful. But that's going to do it for the reveal from the Dragon Ball Super 2019 National Championships. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that 4 out of the 5 cards revealed were just the Dash Pack cards for Set 8. I mean, we already saw what the cards look like. We already knew what they were going to support. We just didn't have the effects. And I feel like that's kind of a crappy thing to reveal for us. That new leader, though, is straight fire. Not that the Dash Pack cards weren't good. It's just, it kind of just seemed like a cheap cop-out for a reveal, considering that the stuff isn't too far out anyways, and we already know mostly everything coming out of that set. Whereas if they had revealed a few more cards from this expansion that Goku leader's coming out of, it could have completely hyped up that expansion. Granted, this gives us a teeny tiny bit of hype, but if they had given us a few more cards from that hype, like maybe a few more leaders, and we'd have a better idea of how that expansion was going to play out, that could have completely changed the outlook on the future of this game. But we've rambled on enough. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of these. What do you think of the Dash Pack cards? Do you think that they're really that great? I think the Hachiak's alright. The Beerus is pretty good, just a standard red, yellow alone. The Android 16 card, I'm going to run in my Android deck, and hopefully it'll work, because I'm not running the traditional 21 stuff. And then Dragon Ball's just good all around, especially for Shenron decks. But I'm more interested to hear what you guys have to think about that new leader. Do you think it's too early for us having dual-colored leaders? Do you think that's going to be a problem? If so, can you think of any cards off the top of your head that are really going to be taken advantage of and abused with that? Pretty much solid proof Shugesh will never be coming off that ban list, because this could easily take advantage of that, and yeah, I know nobody wants Shugesh coming back, so let me know what you guys think. Drop them comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, and I will answer any and all comments back with whatever concerns or ideas you guys may have. With that, though, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.